Welcome to Accelerate 2024. Hope the first 2 days of the conference were filled with sessions where you learned about the new products and services that we are launching. You met with fellow sellers, and you also had a chance of connecting with many Amazonians who are working on these products and services. We are already off to a great start for the third day. We had our general session earlier, and now we have power-packed agenda for you throughout the day, including this session. In this session, we'll explore how we are using artificial intelligence to help you accelerate the growth for your business. My name is Paras Deshpande, and I am a Principal Product Manager on the Seller and Growth Development team. I have been at Amazon for about 13 years. I started in supply chain, moved into retail, then transportation, and now I work in selling partner services. I'm joined on stage by Jennifer Zhang.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jennifer Zhang. I'm a Senior Research Science Manager in the Seller Growth area. I have been with Amazon for a little bit more than 9 years. And all my 9 years journey has been in the Seller Growth area, building a lot of seller-facing products for you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Okay. Before we get started, I wanted to get a good feel of the audience in the room. By show of hands, how many of you have used tools or programs that use generative AI? So the buzz lives up to the hype. Okay. Now, of the folks who raised hands, how many of you have actually used a tool that analyzes the data for you using generative AI and extracts insights? See, this is consistent with the findings that we have. We have learned that sellers such as yourselves are using artificial intelligence and generative AI in particular to ideate on listing content, generate new titles, bullet points, product descriptions. Many of you have even toyed with diffusion models to generate lifestyle images for your products, generate A+ detail page content. However, not many of you have dabbled with generative AI to analyze the data and extract insights so that you can grow your business, right? Now, regardless if you have used generative AI for analyzing data, like few of you have, or if you have not, you are in the right session. Let's go over the agenda that we have today, and then we'll kick it off. First, we want to ground ourselves into how we think, how we have learned this current process of analyzing data in Seller Central looks like. Then we'll discuss why we feel that artificial intelligence is the right tool to solve this problem for you. Next, we'll discuss how we are using artificial intelligence to solve these problems. Last, we'll go over how the analytics experience is evolving throughout Seller Central to help you grow and accelerate your business. Okay. We'll host a live Q&A session at the end of the presentation. If you want to submit a question, you can scan the QR code, and you can use the in-app code scanner, QR code scanner for that. On the panel, you'll see a Q&A option, and you can select it from the right. Okay. Now let's kick it off. We'll start with how the current process looks like for gathering data and insights in Seller Central. Through our surveys, interviews, user research studies, we used artificial intelligence and machine learning to mine the key topics and hot topics and hot areas that we could identify. We uncovered things like data overload, how do I interpret the data. You said that the process was repetitive, time consuming. There was no clarity. You did not figure out how to prioritize, which data set to prioritize. As a result, you told us that you find that the overall process is overwhelming and time consuming. You could have better invested that time in growing your business. you're not able to get convictions in the decisions that you need to take to grow your business. Now, I can understand why this might be the case. This is because today we offer over 300 different dashboards and reports in Seller Central. As a result, you are unable to figure out which dashboard to start off with, where to start, how to take the next steps and prioritize the entire analytics workflow. There are some dashboards that have a lot of data on it. For example, search query. I'm sure most of you have used search query performance to identify the key search terms that your products are getting. But we have learned that new sellers struggle to analyze this dashboard because of the vast amount of data that is there and the number of definitions and metrics that are presented in this dashboard. While most of you have told us that you use the sales dashboard or the business reports dashboard, but that dashboard, even though it is clear, it is unable to give you direction into where to look next, why the metrics are moving up, why they are going down, and what you can do about it. Okay. So let's look at a typical workflow that we learned through our seller interviews on how the data analysis process works today in Seller Central. First, most sellers go and download the data from Seller Central. Second, then you create offline dashboards from the data that you have downloaded so that you can then start extracting insights. You have to massage the data to make sure that it is aligned. Many of the dashboards have charts. Some of them have KPI toolbars at top. Many of them report at ASIN level. Some of them report at SKU level. So that this data wrangling process can become overwhelming. Next, once you have created your offline dashboards, then you start extracting insights. You start slicing and dicing the data. You try to uncover patterns. You try to identify how you can actually take actionable insights out of that dashboard that you have created. And last, you then come to a point where you are able to identify areas of opportunity. You are able to identify the strengths where you can double down on. You are able to identify the weakness where you need to take corrective actions. And that is the most value add portion of this entire workflow, in my opinion. Now, no matter if you have an automated, semi-automated process where you might have created some scripts, or you might be using a third-party analytics dashboard, or if you are following the exact process that I outlined in this last slide, where it is completely manual. At the end of the day, we have distilled this entire process into two key questions that you are trying to answer. First, how is my business performing? You want to know how is your own business performing with respect to your own historical trends. And second, how does my business benchmark against other sellers? If we can answer these two questions, I believe that you will have a comprehensive understanding of how your business is doing so that you can act with conviction. Now let's deep dive into both these questions one by one. First, let's start with how is my business performing? You want to understand and introspect how your business is performing. Let's look at this anecdote. We do not have the time and the resources to sift through all the data, find all the puzzle pieces, put them together. We want to quickly see what is happening so that we can act with conviction. I think this quote aptly summarizes the workflow that I outlined in the previous slide, where you want to get to the end of the workflow so that you can act with conviction and you have the right information so that you feel confident while taking the actions. But what does it overall mean? Like, what do you mean by analyzing one's business performance? At Amazon, we have the concept of the input metrics and the output metrics. We feel that is a good framework where you want to first understand how your output KPIs are doing just to get yourselves grounded. You want to know how the month-over-month trend is doing, how the year-over-year trends are looking like, what are some of the patterns that you can identify in the key output metrics such as units sold, traffic, OPS, conversion rates. Then you want to look one level deeper and understand why is it that the output metrics are moving in a particular manner. Is it that the inventory position is affecting the output metrics? Is it that the buyable ASINs are not converting and generating a sale? what is it that is driving the OPS metrics? Now, let's look at the second question that I outlined. How does my performance benchmark against other sellers? You don't want to leave the money on the table. If the category is growing at 30% year over year, and if you are growing at 10% year over year, even though you are doing good, you want to make sure that you are able to also grow at that clip. This quote actually summarizes some of this sentiment. I want to see who is doing the best so that I can figure out what they are doing that I might not be doing. Or if I am doing good, I want to know so that I can double down on that strategy. Okay. Let's look at another aspect through this quote. Understanding if our conversion rate is low because our prices are high, or if our conversion rate is low because our detail page quality isn't good enough, is going to help us understand where we need to double down and strategize accordingly. In summary, it's not enough just to know whether you are how you are doing with respect to an output metric such as OPS, with respect to the benchmark sellers. Are you at the top of the group? Are you somewhere in the middle? But you actually want to know at a deeper level how various metrics such as traffic, conversion, inventory health are performing, so that you can get an accurate assessment of how you stand against the benchmark sellers. We believe artificial intelligence can solve both these questions for us, and it can provide us a comprehensive understanding of the performance so that you know what is happening and how you can improve that performance. With that, I'll hand it over to Jennifer so that she can take us behind the scenes on why artificial intelligence offers the right set of tools to solve this problem. Over to you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Paris. All right, everyone. Now let's explore why AI is powerful to enable seller success on Amazon. Let's first start with traditional AI. Traditional AI is really great at following a predefined set of rules to do a certain task extremely well. It is a program designed to follow logic, algorithm, to get things done. However, unlike traditional AI, generative AI, instead of just following rules, it learns and evolves from vast amount of data. This learning process allows generative AI to understand patterns and adapt it to create new contents or generate new ideas or new solutions. Now, I would like to take a closer look at traditional AI models first. One example is, as traditional AI is good at follow predetermined rules, we apply it in the customer loyalty analytics dashboard, segment customers into 4 segments, like top tier, promising, at risk, and hibernating. And you allow you to use those insights to guide your business. Another example of traditional AI is on clustering. In simple ways, just think. It uses attributes to group similar items together. It can be similar products selling on Amazon together to help you understand how your business stands among vast amount of products on Amazon. Now, let's move into generative AI models. Generative AI models works in a way that's similar to our brain. Instead of just following rules, it learns information and creates something new. This is like how our human use our experience and creativities in a unique way. This capability allows generative AI especially powerful in creating new contents, solve problems. As traditional and generative AI is powerful in its unique ways, we would like to leverage them in a complementary approach to best assist you sellers on Amazon. This combined approach allows us to first efficiently extract raw data and convert those into insights for you sellers. As Paris mentioned, across those 300 dashboards, we use them combined way to get your data as well as insights. Also, it allows us to make decisions very confidently by removing noise from data. In such way, you will have the most accurate and useful data to drive your business. Last, the combined way allows us to connect dots across all of kinds of workflows for you, so you will have comprehensive insights to guide your operation and business on Amazon. Now, let's take a look at how we are using AIs to solve those seller pain points, as Paris previously mentioned. We use both AIs, traditional and generative, to create 4 types of insights for you. First of all, descriptive analysis. How is your business look like? I mean, what's your business summary? What's my sales in January? Once knowing that, we're moving into why my sales is growing, why my traffic is not growing as fast as my sales, which gives you by the diagnostic analysis. Once we know the past, we also would like to do some forecasting. Is my inventory sufficient for the upcoming holiday sales? Here you go, predictive analysis. Last but not least, we all know selling on Amazon is complex. With raw data we have, diagnostic we have, and predictive analysis, we also want to understand in a comprehensive way to give you end-to-end actions on what to do, which is falling under the predictive analysis. Let me give you some examples here. Descriptive analysis. Here will tell you, how is the trend look like? Is the sales going up? Is the traffic going down? How is the trends look like? Also, it tells you the distribution. How is your sales distributed across vast amount of catalog you have on Amazon? What is my best selling product? What is my average unit sale price on Amazon? Now, let me give you a more comprehensive example on the prescriptive analysis. As we just said, one of the pain points seller would like to know is, how is your business compared to your similar peers? We first leverage the power of traditional AI, which is clustering. It groups similar sellers based on attributes like catalog, customer's preference, to find your most similar peers. Once we have that, we can generate metrics, both your output metrics and input metrics, compared to your peers. Not only so, we leverage generative AI's power on connecting dots to connect your summary statistics, your benchmark information, as well as this capability to provide you solutions to tell you what went well, what did not, and what to prioritize to take off your business. Now, let me hand over to Paris to walk us through the upcoming launches. Thank you, Paris.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thanks, Jennifer, for taking us behind the scenes and helping us see why artificial intelligence is the right tool to solve some of these complex problems, and how we are planning on using artificial intelligence to solve some of these complex problems for you. Let's look at some of the experiences, how this technology is going to shape some of the experiences, and how we are going to evolve analytics experience on Seller Central. I'm sure all of you must have used business reports. This is the hub where you come and you gather key performance indicators for your business, such as OPS, units sold, traffic, sessions, conversion rates. This dashboard also provides you featured offer percentages. Having a good understanding of this is vital to know how your business is doing from an output perspective. However, as we discussed earlier, you have told us that this is just the surface where your workflows start. After this, you need to first understand whether it is the inventory performance that is bad, or is it some other place where you need to look to understand why the metrics are going up or down. To solve this exact problem, where we are launching Insights widget. Insights widget will provide you a comprehensive understanding of your entire business by not only summarizing metrics on business reports, but it will actually take it one step deeper, where it will analyze metrics across other dashboards and bring them for you in a comprehensive manner. Now, that's a comprehensive insight, but that is also a lot of text. So let's look at it section by section. So first, we have used the power of generative AI to summarize the business performance for your business. We have leveraged descriptive analytics to identify the key metrics that are that you need to monitor so that you can get an overall understanding of your business. We have looked at some traditional AI models to identify the seasonality and the patterns so that the generative AI can communicate those patterns and momentums back to you. We have also leveraged the benchmarking models that Jennifer was alluding to earlier to give you a comprehensive understanding of how this OPS compares to some of the benchmark sellers that are there in your category. Next, as we discussed, this is just the starting point. So you want to understand why the performance is trending in a particular manner. So in this case, the generative AI model has decided that inventory performance is the area of focus. So it is using IPI score as the focus point and trying to understand why the performance is in a particular direction. The generative AI model is also looking at the regional inventory metrics, which is crucial for you to maintain a good conversion rate and a good customer experience. Last but not the least, the generative AI model is providing you a holistic summary looking at all these different domains and the analysis that it has done for these domains, and coming up with an overall summary as to what are the metrics that you should focus on, where should you double down on, where you should not, where you need to take corrective actions. We believe this will provide you a comprehensive understanding in a single spot so that you can understand where to go, what dashboards you need to go next, and what strategy you need to follow. Okay. As we have moving on to the next product where we are launching Insights widget, we earlier announced that we are launching Products Performance Spotlight. We had learned from sellers like yourselves that analyzing a performance of a particular product is very difficult on Seller Central. This is because not all the dashboards provide a product specific view, and zoning into a specific product is very difficult. We are bringing all those data points together in one place in Product Performance dashboard, where you can see all the metrics for a given product, including ASIN level benchmarks. But that's not all. We are going to use generative AI to analyze key performance trends, discover new trends that are happening with the ASIN, will identify anomalies, and will review and recommend actions that you can take to optimize the performance for a particular product. Next. We learned that with the recent regionalization of the FBA network, one of the key focus areas is how is my inventory placement across the network, and how is it impacting my customer experience, and how I can best serve my customers by keeping a high regional in stock. We have partnered with FBA team, and we will launch a new widget in their dashboard so that you can get detailed insights from the FBA dashboard, where you can get deeper insights into the inventory placement metrics for your products. As you heard earlier today, we are also launching a chatbot experience in Seller Central, fondly called as Amelia. you can ask, among many things that you can do on the chatbot, you can also ask questions that are specific to your business. Ask about how much sales did I do in the January, what were my top selling products last month, how is my business performing, which can help you save time and get a quick comprehensive understanding of your business. We are excited to see how you guys use these tools to further accelerate your business and grow your business. So before we move to Q&A, let's see what our key takeaways are for this session. First, we are using generative AI to summarize the key metrics for your business so that you have a comprehensive understanding of your business. Next, we are allowing you to leverage Amazon's vast data so that you get a comprehensive understanding of your business by comparing it with the benchmark seller senior category. Third, with the use of generative AI, we expect that the cognitive load of analyzing and gathering data and insights in Seller Central will significantly go down.